You are the esports generation. It's been built by us, but it's for you.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
League of Legends is a fast-paced, competitive game combining the tactical intensity of a real-time strategy with the character development and ability-based combat of an RPG. 2 teams of 5 battle it out with one ultimate goal: to push into the enemy base and destroy their nexus. You control a powerful champion with a unique set of abilities. Since every game starts fresh at level 1, you get the chance to play a wide range of roles and champions from game to game. Each champion has a distinct play style and can fulfill different roles on a team. Fighters get up close and personal with their opponents. Mages cast powerful spells from afar. Tanks hold down the front lines. With over 100 available champions, things get even more interesting as the many possible team compositions come together. Because to destroy the Nexus and take the win, you're going to need a little help from your friends. Across the map are a number of objectives that your team will have to bring down on the way to victory. There are 3 paths to the Nexus, known as lanes. In each lane, minions for both teams push forward in waves. When killed by players, minions grant gold and experience. Experience lets you level up your abilities, and gold can be used to purchase items that enhance various aspects of your champion. Each lane also has a set of static defenses, 3 turrets and an inhibitor. Turrets are dangerous when attacked alone, but taking them down will bring you one step closer to the Nexus. Destroying an inhibitor floods that lane with more powerful minions to aid you in your push. In between the lanes lies what's known as the jungle. Here you'll find neutral monsters that grant gold and, in some cases, special buffs when slain. But most dangerous of all are your opponents, who could be lurking around any corner waiting for you to make a wrong move. Grouping up to push down a turret, roaming the map for kills, plotting an ambush from the jungle. League is a game of teamwork and strategic depth, and there are many paths to victory. Working together to break the base and destroy the Nexus is just one of the things that keeps players coming back. There's always some aspect of your game to improve. New champions to learn. New item builds to experiment with. New plays to make. A sophisticated matchmaking system places you in games with players of the same skill level. Whether you're brand new or a veteran pushing for promotion into the next tier of ranked competitive leagues. The highest matchmaking tier, Challenger, offers the most talented players a direct path into the professional esports scene, where the upper limits of competitive play are pushed to new heights every week. With multiple game modes, frequent balance updates, and new champions coming out on a regular basis, League is always evolving and growing. New champs, new friends, new strats. Every game starts at level 1, and every game's a new experience. See you on the fields of justice.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is EGX, we are Gfinity, and we are presenting League of Legends Play Like a Pro. Now, joining me on stage this time, 2 awesome people from Riot. I'm going to let you introduce yourselves.
Hi there, I'm Riot Bolton. I'm one of our community reps. I do esports and events. Hi, I'm Draggles. I do social media and video content.
So, the awesome thing about these two guys being on stage is that it's going to be play with Riot time. They're going to be the captains for us here, and I believe Bolton's 1-0 up.
I am in show matches 2-0 up.
Yeah,
I
you may have
beat
beat me yesterday.
both my fellow rider, and I beat a certain someone from Chieffinity.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So you're technically the man to try and take down. So I'm going to let you kind of pick your own teams again.
All right,
if you feel
all right.
cool with that.
Okay,
So
okay.
if you want to... I say, Bolton, you can pick first here. You're the reigning champ, as it would be told.
Wait. Before we pick, I need to figure out which area loves League of Legends the most, because that's where I'm going to pick from. No. We're going to do it. We're going to do it specifically. I want to split you guys up into 3 rows. So right here, middle, and right here. You guys are League, you guys are of, and you guys are Legends, okay? So when I point to you, I want you to scream it, all right? Ready? Oh, this is tough. You're all so good. All right, I'm gonna go through here. Let me see who I need to see who I really feel is gonna be the pick here. Who is it? I'm gonna get this really tall guy right here. This guy. You gotta go to this side here. Who else? I like you. You gotta go to the side. Gotta go around to the side.
Yeah, make sure you go around the side, people.
Have you played before? All right, you're on my team as well. One more. I'm gonna go. Wait. Both your friends have played. Well, hold on. I'm gonna go out into the crowd. I need to check into the back. I want to make sure the back row isn't getting pushed out here. All right, let's see here. And I'm gonna get. Oh, there's a Jinx right there. Jinx! Do you want to play when you're done taking your picture? Do you want to play? I'm right here. Do you want to play? All right, you're on as well. You're going to be my AD carry.
That is an awesome cosplay.
I actually really like this. Can we
Wow.
get some cheers for Jinx?
Give it up!
Yeah! All right, my team, actually, we're going to swap sides. My fellow rider claims that I'm too OP on red side. On blue side, I mean. Okay, cool.
I think
I'm
you're
blue
red,
side.
Are you red
I'm
side? I think you're red
I'm
side.
red side. I'm
Right,
red side.
okay, you're
All
red
right.
side. One more for the blue side. I think with that, have you got all of yours, Bolton?
I think I have a full team here. I think I have an OP team here.
No, I think you're still missing one.
I think we're gonna be dangerous.
I think you're missing a player.
Huh? Am I missing a player? I have 4.
You have 3.
Did one of them go over here?
I think you might have stolen one of your players. Did you steal one of your players?
Did one of my players go over here?
Oh, wait a minute. We found someone. All right, cool. Yeah. I think you've now got
Did
too
I pick
many.
someone and they disappeared? Oh, okay.
All right, you
Yeah.
need to go to the other side.
No. This guy. You're on my team, right?
Oh, look at that.
We're over there.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Stealing players going on between you two.
He knows.
I see how it
knows.
is.
He's just trying to help out Riot Draggles as much as possible.
Awesome. So I'm going to let you both go, give your team talks, work out your strategies. And for the people kind of left in the audience, fortunately, it's Sunday. And anybody who's been to an expo before kind of knows that Sunday is the day where we have more stuff left to give out. Because basically, we don't want to take it home. So does anybody here want some T-shirts? Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Okay. Right side, do you want some T-shirts? That was okay. Middle side. Left side. That was okay. You didn't really sell it to me. I mean, I've got more T-shirts than usual here. I feel like I should get more cheers than usual here. What do you think? Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm actually dragging some G-Finity staff in here. First of all, give it up for the backroom staff this entire 4 days. Give it up for them. Come out here, guys. Come out here. You've got a little bit of time while they set up. That's it, you guys. Come on, don't be shy. Come out onto the stage. You're all good. You're all going to take a section of the crowd and you grab a T-shirt. Grab a T-shirt from over there. And you, Martin. Come on. Meekle, Nathan, both of you come out here. These guys from staff have all been in the background. So once again, give it up for G-Finity and all the background staff. We also have NJ Live behind us, so give it up for them as well. They've been controlling everything awesome out here. So, guys, if you'd like to just stand in front of a section of the crowd each. Okay? So I'm out. All right, okay? So you two are going to take that side. Meikle and Nathan are in the middle. Martin's on the left. Okay? So when I point to your section of the crowd, or your person for your section of the crowd, cheer at them, because they're the ones who are going to give you the t-shirt, okay? Okay, these two. We'll come back. Middle. Oh, that's okay. Martin on the left. I don't think that's acceptable. Let's try this again. As loud as you can, or I'm just going to put these t-shirts back in the box, because I'm a mean person. Ready? Right side. Middle side. Left side. Okay, let's throw these t-shirts out. They've been deserving. You guys are awesome. Once again, thank you guys. I appreciate coming on stage. Thank you very much. You worked very hard in the background all weekend. Okay, guys. So, I believe the teams are ready. They've had their team talks. They've worked out their team comps. We have two very famous professional commentators here. These guys are awesome. Yeah, give it up for the commentators as well. There's two backstage. They've been working hard. They're going to take you through. They're going to entertain you throughout this entire game. We've had some epic games here all weekend. So, guys, over to you.
Thank you very much, Brycey, and once again, welcome to the EGX Gfinity stage. I'm Richard Polscam. Alongside me is James Stress O'Leary, and once again, we have the clash of the Rioters here on stage.
We do indeed, and it's even play like a pro for them as well, because this is grudge time for Draggles. This is probably going to be the last time that these two are going to play. Their record currently between the two of them is 1-0 in favor of Bolton, but we've already seen that Bolton is starting to come ahead as the king of these show matches at 2-0 overall. So it's time to get into things, see if Draggle can avenge his loss from 2 days ago.
Yeah, all of Bolton can make it the 3-0 sweep and make it the perfect weekend. We'll see what the band champions are going to be, but of course we are looking at the solo queue-esque bands coming out here, Yasuo and Morgana.
But will we see the Udyr ban? That is the question, because that's what Bolton played the other day. He's on the red side this time. He played Udyr and actually killed the enemy jungler on the way to his red buff at level 1.
He killed the enemy jungler and almost killed Draggles as well, and picked up the buff.
Yeah, that was it. He picked up red actually, and then at level 2 killed the jungler. So I wonder whether we'll see an Udyr ban from that strat we saw the other day, or whether Draggles has been theory crafting in his head what he can do against it.
Well, Bolton did speak to me before the game, but I'm not going to reveal anything just yet until the champions have been logged in, just in case the players can maybe hear something at the side of their headsets. So Braum, Fizz, Alistair and Nidalee will actually round off the bans, and we haven't actually seen a Nidalee ban for a couple days now since the patch hit. 4.17 in fact hit on the first or second day we started casting.
Yeah, indeed, it was the first day, actually the morning that we got here. 4.17 was ready to update, so all of you guys have been playing on 4.17 for a couple of days now. You guys should be used to it, but for any of you that perhaps did miss the patch notes, maybe you've been here at EGX for all 4 days, which if you have, fair credit to you. That is a trooper in the way of a game expo. But 4.17 nearly had a bit of reduction on her initial AD, also added some of her scaling AP, just makes her a little bit weaker in lane, but better overall, I would say. It's one of those things, it adds to her mixed damage.
Yeah, absolutely. So, first pick of Tristana has not been banned out in this game, will be picked up by the blue team here as their priority. Purple team, however, has picked up the Pantheon and looking towards maybe the Vi coming out here as well, Stress. But we did see a Pantheon yesterday in tandem with the Xin Zhao jungle, and both did very well in the early game.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of Pantheons, a couple of Xin Zhaos. Hard to deal with champions in the early game. They're very strong, have a lot of initial damage, and then start petering off if you don't get the kills. But because, as we've kind of been alluding to, this is almost like solo queue. We gathered pretty much every player that wanted to play in a group, picked 10 and said, okay, in you go in the booths. You have no synergy, no kind of team coordination. It's all down to the skill of your players and how you can work with 4 different players that you've never played with before.
Absolutely. So we'll see how it works. As you mentioned, kind of like a solo queue here in the booths. Do have the Vi coming out, so that will be locked in. In response, we had a very fast Lee Sin and Lulu follow-up, and now the hover over Teemo. Are we going to see Teemo again here, Stress? We saw it in the last game. It did well. I'm not sure if we can repeat the previous successes, however.
Yeah, we saw in our first game of the day Teemo being played, went huge up in that top lane, really allowed Jinx to carry. Maybe we'll see that combination locked in here again. Maybe we'll see something different. But Lulu's a champion we've seen a little bit at Worlds, seen it predominantly, I kind of want to say in the mid lane has been played more than anything. It hasn't really been as successful as it has previously. Lulu got hit quite a bit with a couple of nerfs over a few different patches and kind of fell off.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is she can't help pick Glitterlance,
Yeah.
which was a large portion of why she was incredibly strong as a lane bully in the mid lane. But that has been locked in alongside the Ahri as well, who will be her counterpart in the mid lane, and Jinx has also been locked in.
So if Bolton is going for anything special, it will be in the final pick of the rotation here. But I have a feeling he's playing jungle, so it would mean that he will be playing Vi at this rate, but Ziggs has been locked in. That's a champion we saw all the way through the 2014 season and saw a lot of play.
Yeah, I mean, believe Draggles is on the 8th account here, so
Yeah.
he would be in the mid lane. So Ziggs, where is he going to go? Lulu in terms of support, haven't seen it for a little while, but that was picked up as well. Or is it going to be Ziggs support?
I would hope not.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense. Okay, there we go. That makes a lot more sense, but I'm not really sure how Ziggs support would work out. Either way, it's going to be Ziggs in the mid lane, Lulu in support.
So did you say Bolton had something special?
No, he just said he was going jungle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he
that's
was going to bust
underwhelming.
out like an Udyr or something, and I didn't
Oh,
want to be
okay.
like, oh, it could be Nunu, it could be Udyr. I was talking about the Nunu yesterday, but this has gone with Vi.
Yeah, I think Vi is a pretty solid choice right
Yeah.
now for especially solo queue jungle. Not so much in competitive, still is up there, but you're seeing a lot of priority on Kha'Zix, Jarvan, and Lee Sin. They tend to be the highest picked junglers right now in top of solo queue, top of the competitive scene. But Vi is kind of in that tier just below. She's still very strong, has her position, typically very good against an AD carry that doesn't have an escape. Somebody like a Kog'Maw or a Twitch that you put that assault and battery down should do okay against Tristana as long as she can lock Tristana down. Even with the rocket jump, Vi will still follow through. It just depends on whether in the meantime Tristana is powerful enough to get that reset if Vi gets dragged too far away from her team.
Yeah, absolutely. So Vi has been picked up in the jungle up against Lee Sin as well, and Lee Sin is always going to stay in the upper echelons of the junglers in terms of the tier list. Has never really dropped off at all. After his initial buffs when he was released, he's basically stayed up in the first tier of junglers.
Yes, he has, and from there, he had a couple of nerfs recently. The biggest nerf he had was really the one that brought in the reduced time on the safeguard and the removal of the attack speed debuff on Tempest.
Yeah.
A lot of people said that was going to hit him hard enough that he would not be played anymore, but always is the case with a high skill cap jungler like Lee Sin. It's always down to the player. Now Lee Sin's not as strong if you're not quite as good as Lee Sin as you are on other junglers. It just means that if you are a very Lee Sin heavy player, you look at the likes of Shook, you can do still just as good.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have in the bot lane the Jinx up against the Tristana, who was left open. Tristana seen as one of the best, if not the best AD carry at the moment. Gets to the late game and is absolutely insane. Has the longest range of any AD carry with the normal auto attacks without any buffs, because of course Kog'Maw will have slightly more, and indeed Twitch will as well with the Rat-a-tat-tat.
Yeah, indeed. But up against the Jinx is going to scale somewhat the same way. Jinx does need a couple more kills to actually scale as hard as Tristana does, mainly because Tristana has that initial attack stim that's going up to 90%, but Jinx requires auto attacks to actually build her attack speed up. It's kind of like a first kill in the fight is going to really empower both of these AD carries, so you got to be careful for that late game. Tristana will outrange Jinx as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the top lane, we've got the Jax coming out. Haven't seen a lot of play of Jax, honestly. He has started to dip off in terms of top laners, mainly because of Maokai, Alistar, Nidalee, the kind of trio in the top lane who pushed a lot of the old meta top laners out of contention.
I feel like that might be a difficult lane to go against with the Pantheon, because Jax very early on and in the early mid game does suffer a lot against any champion that can just withstand his damage and really pressure him, and that's what Pantheon is very good at. But saying that, there is a lot of kill potential. Jax and Lee Sin is one of those lanes that is very easy to get a kill if your opponent overextends, and we've typically seen with Pantheon players they're pretty confident, and that leads to mistakes from time to time, not warding, not really protecting themselves in the gank. If they can blow Pantheon's flash pre-6, it could be very good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So who has the upper hand as we head into the early game? We haven't seen too many invades, but with Nami coming out here, haven't seen a lot of Nami, honestly. We've seen a lot of Fresh, lots of other supports, but Nami is a very high skill cap support when we come into this one. They do have the potential for an invade, but are we going to be seeing it?
Probably, just because of the rivalry. And Bolton likes to, you know, be aggressive in his playstyle. We saw him invade solo, so I think we will likely see an invade, but at the same time, maybe Bolton just wants to play this safe. The problem here is if the blue side get a couple of kills and get into the mid game ahead, they have the far better scaling composition. Tristana, Jax in the late game, very difficult to deal with, so it's up to Draggle's team to make sure they secure themselves a lead going into the mid game, because that's where their power spike will be.
But we are now into the Rift, and we will be getting underway with this game between the two rioters. Once again, the rivalry will be coming out. Bolton currently leads us 1-0 between himself and Draggles. Can he even this one up, or will it be the clean sweep for the weekend here at the EGX Gfinity stage?
You have to feel like Bolton would like that. But at the same time, you have to feel like Draggles is going to just kind of hate the next week of work if that happens.
Oh yeah, every day.
Every day. It's just going to be like, hey, who won all the games at EGX? Because I know that's what happens when you beat me yesterday.
Oh,
you haven't let that go.
Well, I let it go until you brought it up just now, and it's going to be happening all game. But we do have this invade coming out. Vi comes in. We'll be getting that aggressive ward down. But the defensive ward comes out from Lee Sin. Should stop them in their tracks unless they decide to move around, maybe head towards the blue buff as well. Looks like that may be the case, moving as a group here. And Bolton, you have to feel, is going even more try-hard this game, picking up a more meta jungler with the Vi coming out, and you can see he is leading his team, so clearly is shot calling at the moment.
No wards down in the blue side, because they had a feeling after seeing Bolton's team down in the bottom side of the jungle that that's exactly where they were going to invade. The problem is Bolton's faked this one out and put all of his team in the topside jungle. Jax is still here, so maybe if they kind of ward over into an instant bubble onto Jax, if his reactions aren't good enough, they're going to catch him out. But he's kind of positioning as if he's going to ward over early, but Jax has got to be careful.
Bolton's made the call. They will be moving into the bush. He still has flash. He will preemptively use it. Will be locked down. Do they have the follow-up? They did have the CC, but not enough damage. Charging up the Vault Breaker. He has fully committed to this. The flash and the Orb of Deception. First blood goes to Ari.
And an important thing during that is the ebb and flow was actually taken first by Nami. So yes, while they didn't have the bubble to secure the kill, the movement speed addition just made sure they could stay on top of Jax. Jax got stunned up by Pantheon. That is a great first blood.
Yeah, it's actually funny that Pantheon decided to go with a lower damage option while Nami didn't pick up the CC, which you would expect for an invade. Either way, it worked out very well for them. The first blood goes to Bolton's team over on the purple side. Lee Sin will be starved of that initial buff as well, so is he a competent enough jungler to have the clarity to head over to the other jungle? However, on the way down, Nami was able to place a ward on their own blue buff.
Yeah, so that is going to keep a watch on what's going to happen. But the thing that's going to really hurt in this rivalry is look who ended up getting the kill. It was Ari getting the kill in mid lane, and that's going to put the pressure on Draggles. Here's the counter.
Sin comes for the risky play, lands the Sonic Wave, does not choose to go in here, so uses the level 2 gank, but is significantly far behind his counterpart.
One thing to take note of was Ari actually flashed during that first engage in the jungle onto Jax, so they are trying to put the pressure down there. Draggles obviously calling for his jungler, but it didn't quite work out, not quite as well as it did yesterday for you.
Indeed. So, see how much they can do this game. Lee Sin has gone into the jungle, has moved on to that blue buff, and will be able to get away. In fact, he does. That has been watered, and Bolton didn't do anything to try and stop him. Didn't have the smite. The roam came in from the mid lane, but I'm a little bit surprised Bolton let that one go through.
Yeah, I have a feeling the ward actually expired, and because of the mid lane gank, it meant that it was at a bit of a weird timing. Because after the ward had gone, taking a look at bottom lane, looked like there may have been a bit of an engage. After the ward had gone, there was no real way of reading the exact timing Lee Sin was there. So Bolton actually started his wolves, thinking he had the time to do it after that mid lane gank, but nice timing there out of Draggle's jungler.
Yeah, actually allowed him to get right back into this game, evening of the buffs in mid lane. The ignite was enough to take down Ari, so despite the first blood, was able to pick up an extra Doran's ring off the back of that top lane. Jax is being harassed down, but I believe that is Draggles in the middle lane, so making the plays and trying to carry his team to victory.
Bolton's looking for the plays now. I think they called out the river was warded, so they're trying to shove a large wave. Zap is going to land!
Oh, Bubble comes out. It doesn't land, but the Volbreaker does onto the side of Lulu. Doesn't manage to pick up any kills, but has harassed them behind the turret. And now it is up to them whether they need to go back. Still has the exhaust, however.
And here's the problem with top lane. Look at Pantheon go aggressive. The passive is now down, and up comes Draggles to the lane. The flash is still available, but no ward.
Oh, Counter-Strike comes down. Will be keeping him in place. Satchel Charge knocks him into the buff. Will be pinning him against the wall. Doesn't land the Hextech Minefield, however, and that will just stop the engage in his tracks.
The problem there is Draggles actually ran out of mana. That Satchel Charge is so expensive that after using it, he had no more damage to give out. It was a very nice Satchel Charge, but was not quite enough damage. Didn't even get the flash there, so a little bit of wasted time.
In the bot lane, Flame Chompers will cut them off. Lee Sin comes in from the side, will not get bubbled as it didn't stop him from coming in. We'll have to use the heal to increase the movement speed, get back to tower. So burns a summoner, but the bottom lane wasn't in position to assist.
Yeah, and a bit of an aggressive jump forward there as well by Tristan. You've always got to be careful on that. And actually, again, we're seeing teleporting to the minions. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. For anybody that maybe is a little bit newer to top lane, as we do have an engage, this won't result in a kill though. If you are fairly new to top lane, make sure you teleport to the tower because it's a reduced cooldown.
Oh, hold that thought because Lee Sin is coming in from behind, has the level 4, misses the Q, misses the charm, however. This should be a kill here if they do follow up the CC. Also landed the Hextech Minefield, just one more order like tries to juke the bomb, but they had the damage. Lee Sin will chime in with the kill.
A nice extra kill there. Mid lane, that's been 2 kills now. And they're punishing Ahri for not having flash. They're making sure she can't hit level 6 either. Yes, it's a low farm game in the mid lane so far, but Lee Sin is being very active on the map. He's 1-0, but he's been showing presence in so many of the lanes.
Yeah, and that flash has really hurt them a lot. Despite that first blood going to Ahri, has not been able to capitalize on it in the mid lane. Bot lane is still being harassed out, and they still haven't gone back to base. In fact, neither of the bottom lanes have done so. In the jungle, Bolton is trying to clear out this pink ward. Will be taking a lot of punishment from Draggles. Level 4 versus level 5. Misses the satchel charge. Either way, he will be able to out-damage Bolton in this trade, and he will just walk away with the pink ward. Top lane, however, Lee Sin once again comes in with the gank. Looks for the counter-strike. Flash away from Pantheon. Will be taking him out, but again, Bolton is relentless, trying to just bully away Draggles. But with Ahri coming in from the middle lane, again trying to take out this pink ward, and it will be Draggles coming out. One more auto attack, won't be able to get it. And the two rioters, just trying to go toe-to-toe, will not leave each other alone.
Surprisingly enough, Draggles somehow was getting out-traded by Vive with 2 levels charm.
Oh, right into the charm. The Vault Breaker will actually be blocking off Lee Sin's route into this lane. Mega Inferno Bomb lands on both members. Teleport as well comes out for Pantheon, but it's a little bit too late.
Where did Pantheon teleport from? Was that from base?
It must have been.
Was he in range, or could he have got in range for Grand Skyfall? Remember, the cooldown of Grand Skyfall is considerably lower than teleport, so that's a big cooldown being used. Yes, Jax used his recently as well.
Oh, Lee Sin. However, Vi is under attack. Level 4 versus level 4 jungler, and Draggles comes in from behind, coming in with the damage. Flash comes out to burn the summoner. But Bolton's coming in for round 2.
Yeah, Ahri is level 6 here. If they can drop a ward over the back, which they do, they can actually zone them away. This ward, does it not? It must do. Yeah, it does see Lee Sin. I was going to say, that's... Ahri should have gone on that.
Yeah.
That was an easy charm in the recoil animation.
Either way, they collect the blue buff, have man to counter jungle the Lee Sin, and Bolton will be quite happy to walk away with this one. Doesn't clear the minion, has the ward over the wall, so regardless, they will pick up the timer.
There's an odd timing, however, on their own blue, so Ahri just has to be a little bit careful. So when invading the jungle, you always want to smite away the enemy blue and take your own, but because they're mismatched on timings, there's going to be a bit of a window here where Ahri is still vulnerable in that lane against the Zig, so they just have to keep kind of babysitting Ahri a bit.
And Bolton is going up against the red buff. Very nearly had a broken shard. But still will come out victorious over the red buff. And that would have been the blue buff down the drain as well had he lost that.
That would have been a big miss there for Bolton. His smite wasn't actually available. It was about 2 or 3 seconds away. So that's the importance of the extra shield that Vi is going to get.
Yeah, you had 2 options at that point, but holding that thought because bot lane now is taking a lot of damage. Tidal Wave comes through, just keeps them at range, but you have two options in that scenario. It's like you carry on trading with the red buff, or you try and kite it around and wait for the smite, and hope that the mini lizards don't kill you while that's happening.
The number of times I've tried to kite that around and just end up dying is far more embarrassing than it should be.
Well, Bolton took the manly approach and just went ham and just carried on trading.
Punch first, ask questions later.
Or just die.
Or just
and
die.
lose your blue buff.
That's the other thing. That's not always good. But here's the timing on the blue buff here for Ari. So they are going to give that one over. No real chance of a steal. Sometimes you'd see a Ziggs look to a steal, but Draggles is all the way back in base, so no range on that one. But I want to pick up on that tidal wave being used in the bot lane. That's actually a massive cooldown that is not going to be available for a little while, and Tristan has hit a very important spike here. When you get access to Buster Shot, it gives you a spike of 300 extra damage in your trade. Here's Vi.
Already using the ultimate despite being squirreled out by the Polymorph. Comes in with the kill and will be able to get knocked backwards by the Dragon's Rage. Moving on to Jinx as well. No, he was well away, warding off of the top side. So a 1-0. Fantastic counter gank by Lee Sin.
Yeah, really nice timing there, making sure that with that 3v2, no tidal wave available anyway. They're going to clear out a couple of wards here and head towards Dragon. This is really nice timing for Draggle's team, if they would look to go for it. Are they still engaging?
Oh, they were looking for it, and Draggles is still here, maybe trying to get this call down, but the shot was used. Still has double summoners on the AD carry, plus an exhaust.
I mean, at this point, you know the teleport is still down on Pantheon. Yes, he has his ultimate, but he's got to run for that.
Oh, Satchel Charge came out, and the Ignite still ticking down.
Tower
Underneath the tower! Should be able to pick up the kill. The flash comes out, still had the heal, but he will be able to follow, pick up the kill onto Nami. Looking for the second, and Lee Sin will get it onto the Jinx, but Vi's come back from base. This engage has gone on for way too long. Hextech Minefield comes out, but the ultimate comes in. Spirit Rush lands. Charm as well onto Ziggs, and a 1 for 2.
The bubble you thought would have got the kill there, but the summoner heal was actually used, saved for the last moment. Can they lock down Lee as he got safeguard?
Ballbreaker came out, flashing the jump. Great juke comes out. Will be able to safeguard away to the minions. Ignite comes on to Lulu. Needs one more auto attack. That will not be enough damage.
Oh, that was a beautiful sidestep out by Lee Sin. Read perfectly. Look at their health. Hardly 100 between them to keep themselves alive. So while Dragon, I think, would have been the better option there, they didn't quite get punished as hard as perhaps they should have been for sticking around.
That was incredibly back and forth and very, very scrappy, but as we get to the end of that fight, we do have the advantage coming to Dragon's team. As I say that, the bottom tower has just gone down, trying to start stabilizing the gold totals in this game. Only 600 gold in it as they head into the Dragon, and that'll just topple them into the gold lead.
Dragons is about 500 gold in the lead. He could ult this. No, he can't. He has no ult.
He doesn't have an ult, and they don't have vision either, so
I was
they wouldn't be
gonna
able to
say,
contest.
it's on that time where there's like 2 seconds left.
Yeah, it will literally be up
up
by the time you finish speaking.
Yeah,
There we
it
go.
is. It's from here I can't quite see that. I should really look at my screen more, but that was a close one. I mean, they get punished for that after all, sticking around far too long, losing a tower, losing a dragon. It's not a good position. They actually do pick up a kill on Ari there.
Well, that was the ultimate being used there in the mid lane. Lands the kill onto Ari, and Spirit Rush now comes up. Would have liked that a couple seconds ago, but bot lane once again trading blows to have the advantage to that Tristana lane. Still has the CS advantage plus that extra kill from those earlier fights that we had in the bottom lane.
Yeah, that advantage is really good for Tristana. We talked about how Tristana does scale that slightly little bit better into the late game than Jinx does. Jinx does require a couple of kills. And with Jax Tristana, we talked about having a lead into this mid game. So even losing that tower and losing the dragon, somehow Draggle's team has stayed up in farm, stayed ahead in the gold.
In the bot lane, Pickaxe picked up by both of the AD carries, and they're both AD carries who can actually pick up a static shift in the early game if they are behind or look for the wave clear. But Teleport has come in from the blue team from behind, locking up the Nami, splitting up direction. Only maybe one of them will die here. Jinx is still being followed by 2 players, however. Super Mega Death Rocket will not finish that animation, and a 2-0. Great roam from Draggle's team.
Yeah, 2 sets of 2v1s there meant that they could make sure they picked up both kills from that. Looks like they're actually going to head mid and leave Tristana to push bottom through. Ari's actually maybe a little bit extended, but with her ultimate she will be fine here. Will they burn a lot?
War Jump comes forwards, and the minion line cuts off his Sonic Wave route as he's trying to get onto the Ari. Still have the ultimate, however, but that will be saved up. Top lane, however, they may be able to rotate and pick this one up. Bolton has come in, but the minion wave has been exhausted.
Yeah, minion wave will end up falling. They should be able to get in position to defend this turret, but it's bottom lane they maybe have to be a little bit worried about because it is both members of Draggle's team. Top lane engage.
They will go for the engage with a counter-strike follow through as well. The assault and battery kick comes in backwards underneath the turret, and they will pick up the first kill onto Lee Sin, looking for the second onto Jax, but they did manage to pick up a nice kill. That was a very ambitious engage by Jax.
Yeah, it really was. It was a good engage out of the purple team. They pretty much just read that like a book. And mid lane again.
They kill each other so quickly it's impossible to catch. But Spirit Rush came in, didn't have the ignite either. It was literally just Draggles getting caught out.
Keeping an eye on bottom lane because a bubble would really turn this on its head. But it's Tristana and Lulu coming out ahead. There's another scrappy fight up at top lane. Pantheon really wants this turret.
Jax is only trailing behind by a little bit, and we'll be going back to base, of course, looking for the Trinity Force. Typically see a Trinity Force or a Blaze of Ruin King first. If you're looking for the assassination route, you will go towards the Blaze of Ruin King. And
there's a casting animation on Bubble.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Ebb and Flow would have got it, though.
Yes, yes it would, but at the very end of the animation of recall, you will be able to go back to base.
And how we know about that.
Yeah.
That has been quite the doozy.
Well, no world spoilers just yet, but if you check Reddit, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
It was yesterday's games, though. So.
That's true, but everyone's been here at EGX and
that is true. I'm just going to assume everybody's been here all 4 days.
Yeah. We only just might catch ourselves, so.
Yeah.
But Lee Sin in the
mid lane again.
Mid lane, Ignite ticks down. There we caught the kill onto Draggle. So just back and forth. Both of the mid laners just trading kills. Top lane, you have to feel Pantheon is starting to fall off a little bit. Jax is just able to shrug off most of that damage. Shallowwave comes across. Bolton looking for the follow-up. Volt Breaker over the wall. Oh, Bubble onto 2 players as well. Just get the wild growth and locks up the rest of the back line. Bolton may be dropping here. Has been ignited for the first kill. And Jink cannot get excited right here. Double kill comes out. Follow through. Lee Sin holds onto the resonating strike. Will be able to pick up the triple onto Tristana.
Massive triple kill there for Tristana. That was exactly what they needed. 5-0 now in this game. Is setting this up for Draggles to get revenge here. 5-0 Tristana, very difficult to deal with. 1200 gold is a couple of hundred gold away from finishing that Infinity Edge, and that's one of the big power spikes for Tristana. After that second item, she becomes almost impossible to deal with if you're not supremely far ahead. But from that engage, the key thing there was Bolton engaged without Assault and Battery available, so it would have been a really nice lineup. If he could have got through to Tristana, he would have knocked up both of the other members of Draggle's team there and ended up setting that fight up really nicely after the tidal wave over the wall, but it wasn't meant to be. That cooldown was about 10 seconds off. Nice double bubble.
Again, Nami gets all these double bubbles, but the team is not always able to follow up on it as the damage is coming out from Tristana. Health picks, of course, plus the attack speed will result in a lot of damage as Bolton comes in from behind, looking for the Volt Breaker. Will be landing it right onto Tristana, but there's the rocket jump. Pantheon has come in with the teleport as well. There's the Assault and Battery, secures the second kill.
And the return kills are probably at a better time here. It's 44 seconds until Dragon spawns. You can get control of the Dragon Pit, get wards down. Actually, Draggles is overextending. Can they get in here without anybody getting in behind? No ult from Vi means he will be safe, but take control of the dragon area. Make sure that you can secure that when it spawns.
All blue will just go over to Draggles, and top lane will be now going down to Jax. Pantheon has spent a lot of his time roaming around the map, and yes, it's resulted in a couple kills, but that's allowed free farm for Jax. We'll have Ari flashing up red in the mid lane. Once again, Draggles lands yet another bouncing bomb. Jinx attacks him with the rocket, but we'll be backing off in the middle lane with 1 second to go on Dragon. That will be the next point of contention.
If they can force Ari to back here, it gives them the numbers advantage. The other option is Draggles' ult is about to come up, so they've warded over. No pink wards yet out. Ari is the only one with a pink ward, and she has backed away. In fact, Ari with a pink ward and sweeper, they really need to get a sweeper onto Nami and force her to buy pink ward. She's buying things that typically at this point in the game aren't as useful as wards and sweepers. Boots not as effective on Nami as any kind of de-warding ability here, so they need to get that swap around.
They have decided to seek down the middle lane up against Bolton. Top lane, however, Pantheon just going up against the tower, but now on a low HP, will be out-traded by Jax here if they go for the one-on-one. Lands the empowered auto-attack, starts auto-attacking the minions. That won't help him in his trade, but Jukes into the bush. Last auto-attacker will take him down. He did manage to pick up the tower, however, Jinx gets knocked backwards. Fantastic satchel charge. There's the ultimate Mega Inferno bomb. Lee Sin will pick up the first kill. Spirit Rush goes right into the back lines and will be punished for that one. Talon Wave comes across from the Nami, and here comes the cleanup. Double kills from Tristana. Reset Central. 5 for 0, and there's the ace. Yet another triple for Tristana.
Massive fights all across the board. Jax, without even his Trinity Force, is able to 1v1 Pantheon this early on in the game. That is devastating here for Bolton. It means they can't fight anybody against Jax in a 1v1. It gives Tristana free reign now at 8-1 and 0 to just secure every team fight. Now they're going to take a dragon from this. This is so far ahead, even though the goal doesn't quite look like it.
Yeah, this was a huge gold swing coming in for Team Draggles. And Team Bolton, they have a long way to go to try and catch up into this game. Just under 7,000 gold advantage now going to Draggles' team.
Yeah, and the reason they're so far ahead is you look at where the teams should be in this game. Bolton's team should be ahead in the mid game. They've got Ari, who is great at getting picks in the mid lane. Pantheon is pretty good in the mid game as long as you can get out of lane somewhat even. Jax typically shouldn't be that good at this point. Trinity Force only just finished. Normally you'd see a Blade of the Ruin King here. Interesting choice going for the Chain Vest because he hasn't yet needed it against Pantheon. He's now got the added survivability from the Trinity Force. A Blade of the Ruin King would mean that he'd output more damage against Pantheon and be able to split push better. But he's opting for a somewhat of a safer route, but I don't know how that's going to fare in the 1v1s. That's something we'll have to watch.
That's true, but if Vi comes in for the gank, he's going to have the extra armor against both of them, and may even get to the point where he can go for the 1v2. And he has opted towards the Trinity Force first, not looking to assassinate people. I was talking to Quickshot briefly about this, and that's kind of how you build. If you want to assassinate your lane opponent, you go for the Blade of Ruin King first. As Mega Inferno Bomb takes 50% of the Ari's health off. Lee Sin looks for the intake, will be interrupted by the Talon Wave, follow through into the ultimate as well from Vi, but the Wild Growth keeps him alive. Super Mega Death Rocket comes in, chimes in with the assist. Ari picks up the first kill. They will be looking to move on to the rest of the team. Pantheon Ultimate comes out, joins into this fight, doesn't tag anyone with the slow, but will get the stun down onto Ziggs. Tries to dive underneath the tower. Spear Toss will pick up the kill.
Spear Toss does pick up that kill. Tristana!
Oh, Tristana from the side looks for the first kill of the fight. We'll get the first. We'll get the reset. Now Lulu comes into the fight. Has the double kill. Looks for the triple now onto Nami. Gets the heal for the Speedo and keeps him in place with a tag with Blessing. Yet another triple, the third of the game. The hat trick for Tristana.
The trio of triple kills means that Tristana now at 11-1 and 0. That's the difference, though, is Tristana is going to clean up every single fight, and that's why perhaps I would kind of look at if Vi goes over to that Jax lane, it leaves it as a 4-on-3, and that's tough enough. Before Tristana is 11-1, now has Static Shiv Infinity Edge completed. How much gold is she carrying off that fight? 1,600 gold. That's either another BF sword or most of the way towards her Last Whisper. But when you look down the items, there isn't any armor. You could really just play greedy, look for a Bloodthirsty, and look at the damage already.
And you would expect Pantheon to be able to assassinate Tristana, but she should be able to pick up the kill here. It's taking too long, however. Job comes out, shut down for Jinx, and now we do have the Lulu under attack, but the Mega Inferno Bomb will cut off their route as they try to pick up the next couple of kills. Jax is incredibly deep in the purple team jungle. Oh, gets the Duke from the charm with the ward jump, but they have come in from the side. Everyone has joined this fight. Jax picks up the kill onto Arius. He goes for the 1 versus 1. And Lee Sin comes in and assassinates the Nami off to the side. Now the Wild Growth will be used defensively. Will be able to pick up the kill. Gets excited and runs back into the jungle. Lee Sin looking to cut off the escape route, and they don't carry on going. The ultimate comes in from Vi, locks up the Jax, but Jinx wants to get out. Will be able to flash over the wall and gets the Duke.
Oh, really nice flash. She is going to get revealed by the wards. Can Draggles end up chasing? Does she play greedy and look for an early recall here? You should really just keep backing off, and that is exactly what she's going to do. That was a bit of a back and forth fight. Tristana just ended up getting beaten down by Pantheon. He just had a little bit too much damage there, and I wonder, was that Thornmail completed before or after the fight? Because now that might be a reason for Tristana to actually opt for that Last Whisper. Saying that, did go for the BF sword, so now she's going to have a lot of trouble chunking through Pantheon if she ends up in a similar situation. And that is not a good thing. However, she's 12-2. As long as she's focusing anything other than Pantheon, she should be okay.
Yeah, and if you take a look at the lineup of Draggle's team right now, there's so many threats starting to open up. Draggle himself, 5-3-8, 1-1 and 3-1-1 rather on the Jax. And there's the initiate from Jax, lands the Sonic Wave, picks up the first kill onto Ari, and they should be able to mop up Pantheon as well. They have the CC. Dragon's Rage will stop him from recalling. Getting the teleport. Vi comes in from the side. Bolton will be able to try and take this pink ward, but this is incredibly risky. Just not get tagged out by the glitter launch from Lulu, and they will be jumping now onto Nami. Also gets called out, gets squirreled up and picked up as well. 3-0, 3 fast kills, and he will be able to siege the middle turret.
It's going from bad to worse for Bolton. I thought perhaps those flame chompers were good enough. They had to funnel all the way around the outside of that little entrance, but they managed to catch up Sonic Wave.
Does he choose to go for it? He doesn't have the ultimate.
No ult.
Yeah. Choose to go full Lee Syndrome in this one, but they will be able to keep them at range. Pushing down the middle turret. Bolton will be knocking Jax into the turret, but all the way comes through from Draggle. Takes down Bolton. Looking to move now onto the Ari. Gets the reset. Moving on to his counterpart of Jinx. Cuts off the escape route. Double kill comes out.
Really nice cutting off the escape route there. That's going to be an inhibitor going down. 3 members still with 25 seconds left. Could they look to push the wave in?
Well, Pantheon Nani cannot die here as Tristana comes in for the kill. That will be Pantheon getting CC'd up by the satchel charge. If anyone dies here, they could carry on pushing, but with 10 seconds left on the death timers, they will choose to go back.
Yeah, they're going to head back. Jax is actually going to teleport into the top lane, make sure that that isn't pushing in. That's a nice lot of farm to pick up, but let's take a quick look at the gold. Tristana, 2,000 gold. Dragos has 2,500 gold, 2,000 on Lee Sin, so they're going to get a big power spike when they do decide to back, but they have actually stuck around in the top side, on the bottom side of the map here. I have to feel this is a little greedy here when you're sitting on so much gold.
Oh, Charm comes through, but it's not going to be enough, and 2 fast crits from Tristana takes her out at max range, so definitely was not worth it.
Yeah, not worth it, and it goes from being greedy to rather safe here because they know they've got the numbers advantage. They are going to take down this turret. Will they get counter-engaged on here, though? That's the problem. Bolton is angling around the side, but his team have backed off. Maybe no confidence in Vi.
Yeah, I mean, like, Draggle's team looking like a well-oiled machine, while Bolton, it doesn't feel like anyone's following his calls anymore. It's just like, well, you've died 6 times, I guess we'll do our own thing. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, 3 and 10 and 2. So many deaths all over the board, and that's literally been the name of the game. That constantly getting picked off, and then it's been objectives on the back of it.
Dragon goes over to Draggle's team as well, so it is snowballing into an unstoppable position here for them. They've already got the better scaling team with a 15-2-1 Tristana. It has been quite a clean game for our Tristana player, but it is not over. There is a pick composition on Bolton's team. If they can lock Tristana down in the very early time in the team fight, then they've got to deal with the Jax. That's difficult as well. But hope isn't completely lost.
Second Thunder Bomb comes through. Oh my god, the damage. 60% of Jinx HP has been just instantly taken away. This is looking like dire straits at the moment here. Stress as Dragon's team look to go for the jugular, put the last nail in the coffin as they head towards the Baron, and will be looking for the push as well. They have to clear out the ward. Double Sweeper comes down. That has alerted Bolton's team. Will they be able to stop it, or do they even want to? Bolton over the wall. Can he go for the steal?
Oh!
Jinx Rocket gets the steal, and Bolton will be able to get out as well with the flash. This is the turning point of the game.
I would love to say that it is. That is going to be a good steal, a little bit of maybe, something extra for Bolton to hold on to from this game. But the problem is they didn't kill anyone. They only got the Baron. That's going to give them regen, which is typically better for the offensive team because the defensive team is pretty much close enough to their base.
Oh, Lee Sin looks for the intake, but once again stopped in the tracks by Nami. A 1-0. This is not looking good for Draggle's team as they try and close the gap. Tries to get in range, but the bouncing bomb on just to a couple members of the team is keeping them at bay. Bolton, I'm not sure if this is the best engage here as he comes in with the ultimate onto Tristana. Flash comes backwards. They have so much peel, however. huge Mega Inferno Bomb, and it's literally, this is looking like a reset train. But Tristana gets the second kill, there's the third, there's the fourth, looking to make it the ace, and in a matter of seconds, Bolson's team just collapses. There's a consolation kill, but it's not going to matter, as they will just close in on the Pantheon. The 5 for 2, the ace, and this will be the game going to Team Draggles.
Tristana's got her eyes on the prize, and that's both Nexus turrets followed by the Nexus. That is going to be a pretty clean game here for Draggles team. Retribution has been earned. The score between the two of them is now 1-1.
Well, what a game. Kind of one-sided this time. I'm going to get the winners out the booth. Give it up for Draggles team, the winners. Give them a round of applause. There we go. Revenge must feel sweet.
Indeed, yeah, indeed.
Who was the Tristana? Was it you? No, where is that Tristana? This guy. I think it was 3 triple kills, my guy backstage told me. You kind of tore that up. How'd that feel?
Great.
Great. Awesome. Well, once more, give it up for the winning team. Awesome. So, because it's Sunday and we got some extra stuff backstage, you can get all the usual stuff from Riot, but we have these awesome limited edition Gfinity mugs to give you. So, you know, you can use these while drinking around the venue. Just look, you know, sophisticated. And you can put them on the Gregor spear mats that he's just handed over to them. So guys, come collect one of these each. I'm gonna just quickly throw these to you guys. And then we're gonna go check out the losing team. Wait a second. Is he saying on stage? Have I given all of you a cup? Have I given? There's things everywhere. We've too much stuff to give these guys. I'm gonna go check out the second place team. Riot Bolton's team. If you guys want to give it up for the losing team. What happened? You couldn't leave flawless.
I'm basically the CLG of the Gfinity booth. I do really well at the start and then fall apart at the end.
Oh, okay. Well, once again, give it up for these guys. They put in a big fight. Apparently the right guys tell them to wait here. I think they have some more awesome swag for them. That is an awesome costume. How are you?
Yeah, fine, hot, but fine.
Awesome. So you had a bit of fun there. You main Jinx, I'm guessing.
I'm main support, but I also main buy, Jinx, Baru, so it depends. But they kick me a lot, they hit me a lot, they always wanted to kill me. They hate me, why?
Well, there we go. Thank you very much. Once again, give it up for these two teams. They had a great game for you. Give it up for our awesome casters. Give it up from the 2 wonderful gentlemen from Riot. They're giving swag away, okay. So, we're going to reset all of this, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes. See you then.